Good morning and happy Monday. Back to trucking. Well, this week is gonna be very interesting because we finished 4 classes with my Sunday class, and this week is our practice week. So we're gonna be doing semi-private classes, 2 students at a time, and they will be practicing, they will be negotiating, they're going to try to cover our trucks, and hopefully, finally, all the information is gonna start making sense. And the plan is to make at least 20-30 phone calls per person and ask all the questions, see if this load makes sense, if the price is right, and of course try to negotiate. After we're gonna book the load, we will need to dispatch the driver, we need to give instructions to the driver, sign rate confirmation, see if all the information we ask is correct, and finish this process. Posting truck, looking for the best load, negotiating.
We need to talk to the driver.
Well, we need to make sure that they are unloading or they are on time, right?
Yes.
So in our case, our driver already got unloaded on Saturday, so he's empty. So this driver is ready to go. Okay, so this is good, right? We don't really have to worry where he is. But all other drivers, we need to make sure where they at if they are delivering today, right? You're gonna know that on Friday. So you're gonna know what is gonna happen on Monday. Monday, you're gonna make sure you prepare what's gonna happen on Tuesday. Then you need to check their HOS hours, right? You need to make sure you know how many hours are left on the cycle, how many hours, when did they start logbook today. So you need to check this. Third, you will need to make sure you talk to them, right? If they are not home, when are they gonna be, when do they want to be home? Are they staying on the road for a few weeks, or they really need, so you need to make sure you know that. Equipment, right? Because maybe the driver did not share with you. Maybe he needs to go and do the oil change, or he needs to do alignment or tire attention. So you need to make sure which day you guys gonna do it. Maybe when you have a little bit longer transit, right? Maybe you will need to book the load with a longer transit so he can do that preventive maintenance. So let's say you have a plan. Make sure we put 2 previous loads, right? We need to know where we are ready for this, because yes, maybe we finish the week very strong, but still now this week is going to be continuance for this week, right? So we're going to take at least 2 last loads, put them on the map, and when we're going to find the load, we're going to add this load, and we're going to calculate first, because we know how much they give us for 2 previous loads, right? So we're gonna have that bottom dollar. Of course, we're gonna try to be higher than that, but at least we know where we cannot go lower, right? So we're gonna have that number, and then we're gonna call. And it's gonna help you, because when, for example, you know, well, you need 1,500, and they are telling you, well, this is gonna be 800. That's not something, because can you really double the price? Not really. So probably, or you need to change where you're going, or maybe this load is just too cheap. So why should you waste the time, right? Once you send the BOLs to the broker, they're gonna close this load in their system. So when the factoring calls to verify, this is already marked as delivered. So then factoring doesn't have to call a bunch of times. So this is faster, right? So you faster receive your money, and and if something is wrong, you're gonna also know right away. If you're missing maybe some PO or some page. And show me the national average right now for reefers. How are you gonna show? You're gonna go to, not there. You're gonna go, right here. Let's look at the trend lines. Okay, let's go all the way down. And we're gonna see that right now in January, average for reefers, it's 271. But remember, when I was teaching you, this is for loaded miles only. So we need to deduct at least 12 to 15 cents, right? So it's gonna put us at 260. And remember, when we're gonna go cross country, When we have so many miles, it's gonna be a little bit lower because we're still getting that gross, right? So we had what, 240 what?
249.
249. We had 250, but how many miles at 250, right? So this is okay because it's cross country. When we were talking, if we would just stay on Midwest or if we would just stay on East Coast, of course, first of all, our gross is not gonna be that high. It's gonna be less, but rate per mile has to be higher than 270 because it's a shorter loads, right? So that's what you need to understand. This is data based on the long haul, and long haul between 500 to 600 miles average. So when you go lower, your rate should be higher. When you go longer, it is gonna be lower. Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking for a load for today, picking up in Elgin, Illinois, going to Grandview, Washington for a reefer.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 1-2 drop. Are you guys open to? Or no, it's not. I lied to you. That one's covered. So I only have the 1-1. If they go to Belvedere tonight at 10 p.m.
The Belvedere to Grandview.
Correct.
And how much is that one?
He's got 43.50 on it.
Oh, 43.50 as well. And what's the commodity?
It's a truckload of frozen food at -10, and it weighs 20,000 pounds.
When is it delivering?
When's the delivery for it?
It'll deliver Friday between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m.
On Friday.
Correct.
Oh, is it going to Walmart?
Do you know, is the receiver Walmart?
It is.
Okay. 1 second. Should I ask her something else or just hang up? Because
Well, what did we discuss? That Friday night is gonna be not working for us because it's gonna be hard to find on Saturday load, and market went down now, so this is too long, right? So it doesn't really work for our truck because first it's picking up 10 p.m. today, which is a kind of, but that delivery, remember? So that's why we always look and we know what is good for us. So say, unfortunately, the transit is a little bit too long.
hello?
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, the transit's a bit too long for me, and my driver doesn't want to wait. Can't wait till Friday to deliver. Maybe
Okay, that's fine.
is it possible to maybe have a sooner delivery date?
No, I'm not able to change that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay. So let's talk about it. So stop sharing Volodymyr so I can see you better. So first you call about the load. So when she switched the city, I mean, okay, Elgin and Belvedere, it's just 30 miles difference right now, right? Not that big of the deal. But when the moment you hear that it's a different city, what do you need to do? You need to stop her, okay? Because it's something different than she posted, right? So you need to ask her, what is the zip code? So you have to go back to that map and make sure you put it, because in this case, 30 miles, but sometimes the difference can be 100, 150, 160. They do it on purpose, So you need to realize that. Secondary, okay, 10 p.m. pickup, and then of course, how much are you paying should not be asked until you know when is it delivering, right? So in this case, maybe we're still gonna take it and we're gonna try to find a load in Washington. But since we know that now we have to wait till 10 p.m. and we have to deliver Friday night, shouldn't we ask, well, I see you posted for 43.50, but since it's delivering Friday night, right? It's gonna be harder for me to cover my truck. I need to be at 4,600, right?
Okay.
So you need to throw them number first and validate why are you asking for more. Before, she's just gonna say, okay, 43.50 and that's it. Because she also doesn't realize she is not a carrier. She just looks as a broker. Does she really worried about that your truck has to wait till 10 p.m. today? Does she really worried how you're gonna recover your truck? So no. So that's why you need to tell them this so they feel like, oh wow, he has a point, right? It is delivering Friday night. It is picking up. So then you have a little bit better way of negotiating. Okay? But good deal. So just remember always to double check zip code, right? And make sure that transit, this is a number one, and commodity. So what was a commodity?
It was frozen foods, has to be kept at -10 degrees.
-10 degrees. And how heavy was it?
20,000 pounds.
20,000 pounds, right? So that we exactly want to go. So adjust the posting.
Oh, okay.
Dispatch.
Yeah, I did.
For new truck on Thursday? Or Wednesday, I'm sorry.
On Wednesday, Louisiana truck? Yes, it's available. What do you have, ma'am?
I have freight out of New Orleans, 10 miles from Harahan, going to Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Mount Vernon. No, is that Walmart there in Mount
No,
Vernon?
ma'am. No, ma'am. It's Continental Tire Warehouse. It's 14 pallets. No touch to you. They deliver 24 hours. No appointment needed.
Okay, hold on a second. So we're gonna pick up in New Orleans. What time?
Anytime before 3.
Okay. Is it dry load or reefer load?
It's a dry load.
Okay, and we're going to Mount
Vernon, Illinois.
Vernon. How heavy is it gonna be?
43,000.
And how much are you paying, ma'am?
Does your driver have a TWIC card?
He does not have. He's tankering doors, but no TWIC card. So
Okay, that's all right. I'll use my escort to load him. I'll pay the escort fee, and I can pay you 16.
1,600.
Uh-huh.
And which broker you work for? What is your?
GTS out of Hillsboro, Missouri. Do you want my MC?
Yes. Hold on. Let me log into my factoring. So I don't think I ever work with you guys.
Which one do you use?
We use Loves.
Yeah, I just paid them a bunch of money yesterday.
I just want. So what is your MC number?
183-897.
183
897.
97 GTC. Yeah, you're a. Is that the best price, ma'am?
Well, I have to pay $100 for the escort fee too, so that's basically pretty much all I can do.
So 1650, right?
No, 16.
Oh, 16. And how are you gonna pay? You're gonna give him comp check, or how does it work there?
He doesn't need any money. I pay the escort.
Oh, you're gonna pay?
Yeah, I pay that. You don't have. That's nothing to you.
Okay. Can I just talk to the driver and call you right back? Is this your direct number? 636.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, and your name?
Barbara.
Barbara, I'll call you right back.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So guys, let's look at this, right? So we posted already. See, we did not even book the load, but somebody's already calling us, right, Voldemar?
Yeah.
For Wednesday. So that's why when you already talk, you have to post the 95 miles. We need to find something right here, right? So there's water Kaplan 1,000. He's paying 1,000. Let's call about this. What if we're gonna go all the way to New Hampshire, 434 miles? So let's click on that, worldwide, and they have 2 loads, right? 1 to north, so 6 feet tarps or Conestoga. So we know, we will need to tarp. It already says here, or Conestoga. So let's call and ask how much they paying, when is it delivering? And you kind of gonna know, is your husband ever go to New Hampshire? Does he ever go to New Hampshire? He doesn't go, but let's at least see how much they paying, right? Okay, because we need to practice. So call and ask details. You already know that you will need to tarp. What did this practice help you to realize, Volodymyr? What do you need? You need to work on something, or what is this like? Open your mind, or is it easy? Is it hard? Are you scared to talk to brokers? What do you need to know to be successful? I mean, we already went through all the basics, right? We already know how to get set up, how to check. We already know our details for equipment, right? We know what type of trailers we're talking about. We already even know our drivers, right? What they want, how they want. We know previous loads. So Volodymyr, what do you think you need to improve, or maybe you're already there? Like, what do you think? What else still needs to click for you?
I need to get better with the pricing to know like what prices I should ask for which loads.
For which loads? First, we're gonna already know. We can do it 2 ways. We're gonna know the previous rates, right? and we're gonna see the data for the last 2 weeks for the company. Because even if you start work for somebody, you should ask for the data, right? So you know what they've been doing, because it's unrealistic. Let's say you're gonna start working and they say, well, you're not doing a good job. We want all the miles to be $4. Well, show me, guys. Have you ever had $4 per all miles, right? They have to be realistic, and you, as a new dispatcher, you need to make sure you see the data. Secondary, if, for example, you add in a new truck, you don't know what this guy doing, you're gonna check in that quick rate search, right? We haven't been doing that, but that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna click and see what's gonna happen there in Pennsylvania or Illinois, how much they pay. Okay, so we have that. Secondary, other questions kind of the same, right? What time is a pickup? What is a commodity? How heavy? So this guy, the last guy, remember 45,000, before he hung up, what did he say? You have to be able to scale, right? So probably that 45,000 probably was not really including the pallets, probably gonna be heavier. So right there, you should have asked, so what is gonna be the total weight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so listening and hearing. With Paolo, we already figured out we need to be really good with those names, right? We cannot just try to say those. We have to make sure it's coming from Baltimore, Maryland to Batavia, New York, right? So she needs to improve that first few sentences, and they're gonna be the same. So she's gonna have homework. She has to do it every day. 10, 20 phone calls, ask, verify, even if they hang up on you. Also, both of you have a newer company, so you still need to check if you guys set up with them, right? So if you set up, great. If not, even if you're not booking the load, can we get set up? Well, it's easier for Volodymyr because his English is good, he's relaxed, and he's a young kid. He's not really stressed out like me and Paula. Paula still have a kid there, right? She still needs to dispatch. I also have all these things. So that's what you can hear in Volodymyr's voice. He's a quiet, confident. So all he just needs to get faster to that number, right? Because sometimes that slow confidence also, because why? We don't have time, right? The brokers don't, so they want to get to but he has a good communication skill, so this is a big plus for him. He just will need to talk to his dad, to his drivers, figure out, and that's why it's gonna be crucial for you to finish that, because you're gonna see how they drive, right? When you're gonna be completing for me for 2-3 weeks, you kind of gonna see what he's did, because usually the drivers do the same circle. Or they go to south and then go to East Coast and come back to Chicago. Or some guys don't like to go to Oklahoma or Kansas, right? They just go East Coast, come back, East Coast, come back. So if you finish that homework, if you look at the data for 4 trucks, you're gonna already, while you're gonna be doing it, because you will need to figure out the empty miles, total miles, right? You're gonna see that this guy usually goes in this circle, because it is gonna be kind of the same. Unless market drastically changes and let's say East Coast is not paying, then the smart decision is gonna be just keep them on Midwest, right? Because of the cost of the tolls, the traffic, or maybe even the weather, right, Volodymyr?
Yeah.
So when you started this, before you started this class, do you think now, after 4 classes, after today a little practice, and I also advise you to practice, you have that luxury, you know where your truck is, that you can negotiate way better loads, right? And make the smart decision. Like today with that load, I really think that load from upstate New York to Chicago is a great load. But you're gonna tell us on Sunday what decisions they made, right? But tell me, coming from beginning till now, do you think you improve your skills? Do you think you kind of understood how all this works?
Yeah, I got like more knowledge on how like this works, because before like I would call brokers sometimes for my dad, like if the dispatcher already sleeping, because like 8-hour difference with Ukraine, so I would have to call for him. Like I would call them, but like I wouldn't understand what I'm like asking and what I needed, but I like understand what I need to what I need to ask and what needs to happen.
Because it's important, right? It's important transit, pick up, commodity, the weight is important, and where are we going, right? And today, Was it helpful for you to actually, before we even decide to go to Louisiana, right? You post and you see what are you, because you need to have the plan. This is A, B, C, D, E. This is a circle. We still have to load, unload, unload, right? So if you're not sure about that area, we posted a truck in Louisiana and we made few phone calls. And the best one was which one? The lady who called us. So is that important? When you book in the load, post right away. I know it's Wednesday, but we don't wait because the market is slower now. So we want to see who is going to call us. So sometimes we're going to work from backwards. Doesn't matter which equipment. Sometimes I book my load from there, especially if that's an area I am not comfortable with. I don't really go to Louisiana. So the only way I would go to Louisiana if I have backhaul right away today. Okay, so that's helped me personally not to be stuck somewhere. Even remember when we were talking about that Virginia load for your driver for $2,000, right? Yeah, it's 570, so it's a good almost $4. But did I made you to make sure you post what is gonna be there in Virginia? Because it's a different part of Virginia. It's closer to North Carolina and Tennessee, right? First of all, we also had to pay attention to the roads, right? It's not easy to get there because it's mountains. What do you think? From beginning of the class till now, I mean, does it start making sense for you? Because it's easy for your husband. He's been driving. He is booking the loads. I mean, does it start? I know you guys, people were complaining about the homeworks and everything, but that's the basics you need to get used to. I know it takes time, right? And especially they look at the cute baby. The baby has to calculate RPM as well, right? Yes, rate per mile. So, but do you think, Paula, till now you kind of start understanding?
Yes, I now understand more because my husband, at the beginning, my husband told me that I should start dispatching without like any training. But I told him, I'm lost. I don't know what to say. I don't know what should I ask. Nothing. But now I feel like more comfortable.
Okay. Plus, you still need to practice, right? But at least you have that plan. Always check. Always compare. Always ask the question. And you know what? Don't be afraid to say no. Right? Well, then, if something doesn't make sense to us, even if they're gonna, oh, please, right? Like that TQL girl, she probably would give us, oh, but also double checking that zip codes. Do you see the difference? 120 miles. First of all, if we would be unloading somewhere, we probably cannot even make till 3 p.m. So when you hear right away that something is different, when you look at, that's why you prepare the map and you look and you listen. So if you hear, can I have zip code then, right? Right away. Don't even keep talking. This guy hang up on you. Well, because he thinks that magically you should already know where's a Lancaster, PA. So, well, you need to stop him, right? Well, I need the zip code because, unfortunately, you posted that it's a Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, right? It's not that I am not professional, but you guys misrepresent your load. So don't get pissed at me as a dispatcher. And I need to know, right? So yes, and people gonna hang up on you. People are gonna sometimes not to give you the price. But what we can do, we can ask and we can still get something which works for us. Because in the end of the day, we need to make money. We need to be profitable, right?
Yeah.
But we can prevent a lot of things by asking about shippers, receivers, by knowing which area we are going to. So after a few weeks, believe me, Volodymyr, if you're gonna start keep calling every day exactly for your trucks and discuss and actually maybe start taking over, because I do believe you have a huge potential and actually you will succeed better. First of all, because of the English. Secondary, because of your good communication skills. And as I told, you are young and you quiet and you kind of peaceful. So believe me, you're gonna succeed. Sometimes, you know, when people have too many things, sometimes we're too nervous, we're too pushy. Well, when I book, I just know already this. So yes, I can afford to be that sassy, right? Paola, she still needs to catch up to be confident. So she needs to work. But you are there. So I'm proud of you guys. You are the first 2 students for this class.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. I know it's not that easy with a baby crawling around, but signing rate confirmation, also keeping update on all other drivers. Are they on time? Is everything is on schedule? What are the plans? So we need to ask each driver when do they want to be home, what are the plans for this week, and what are the desired areas they would like to go. We do not ask owner-operators every time, are you gonna take this load? Are you not gonna take this load? Are you gonna take this load? Or you're not gonna take the load? Because we are professional dispatchers. So the only things we are worried about is when the driver has to be home, his desired rate per mile. Of course, we do better than national data because we know what we are doing. And also, if he wants to take maybe longer break due to the winter or holidays, and which area he prefers. But of course, our drivers already trust us and they know that we do the best and we know what's going on. Right now, market is going a little bit down, so it's getting challenging, but still, it's a lot of good loads. You just need to connect them and you just need to know what are you doing. Our next class, it's going to be February 13th. This is a faster class because it's going to be Saturday, Wednesday night, Saturday, Wednesday night, and so on. And also in March, we're going to have again our Sunday class for people who are on the road, for people who still working somewhere, so they have extra time to finish up all the homeworks, quizzes, and have practice. I know some of my students are complaining about homework, but you know what? This is not really for me. This is for you. Because when you are searching for something, when you are finishing those calculations, you're gonna remember it. I can tell you 10 times, 20 times, and sometimes it just does not click. But when you do it, when you write it down, when you answer, when I am scoring you, when you find the information about commodities, about the shippers, believe me, you're gonna remember that for long and long time. When people call about the classes, they always worried how the class is gonna be running. Well, first of all, it's gonna be via Zoom. It's in comfort of your own home. As long as you have a good connection, if you have a laptop or desktop with a camera and a sound, then you're set to go. And we're gonna be covering lots and lots of topics. We're gonna start from introduction to trucking industry, to logistics as a science. Also, we're gonna be talking about dispatcher duties.
It's a truckload of cakes and pies.
New
You have a
young.
reefer, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, so do you think you're gonna add that money and give us 1,800 to do this?
1,800. We can't do that much. There's not that much in the load from the customer on this one. We got to be at 13.
Well, unfortunately, guys, we are not a charity and we're not an Uber carriers. We are in this business to make money. We love you guys at TQL, but sometimes your rates are really low. But if you have something better, call me back. I would love talking to you.
You're in a really good mood today.
I am in a great mood. You know what? I am teaching the class for the dispatch, and it's my last class. I'm in a great mood, and actually they can hear you, so they can see that if the load picks up in Brooklyn, first of all, they always have to check if there's a dock. Secondary, they need to realize just to go there and get out, it's gonna be that $400 from where? Who is gonna pay that? Not them, not you, but the company. So this actually load, we need to add money to make it happen. That's why it's like a charity load. And right now, Christmas is over. No more charity. Right? Anyway, Nice talking to you. Thanks for calling, and hopefully I'll talk to you in the future for the next good paying loads. Just put in my profile. She's accepting only good paying loads.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, we put him in a good mood. He said, wow, see? So, nonsense, right? Look at this. So where are we located? So he wants young New Yorkers, right? This, right? Direction. So we located where? We located in Chester. So we already have load for now that, that load for 1600. Look, first of all, we have Deadhead. So we're gonna be crossing, well, it's not the way they go. So usually we don't go here. So usually you come through this bridge, right? So let's see. Surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Wow, where's the ducks? Look at the city. Do you really think, look, probably picking up from something like this, right? Really? I don't think so, because it's Brooklyn. Brooklyn is so old. They don't really have ducks. All the garbage is on the streets. All the loading comes from the streets. So, did he lie to us? Yes, he did. So, do you need to know that? Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So, if you do not know, then you Google this, you look, and you even call the receiver. So I asked him, right? He did not give me the phone number because he would not, but you have to hear and kind of Google, right? By the name. But did I do my job as a dispatcher before I booked this nonsense? Right?
Yeah.
So, XPO, Coyote, GB Hunt, TQL, CH Robinson, and look, you always can post the trucks, right? So you have available loads, you have bids, tenders, my loads, but you can also post your trucks, right? Pretty easy, same, right? We already learned that we need to do what? We need to find the loads. Approximately time to pick up and for delivery. So because they have to give you exact pickup. So like this one from 8 to 3. So it's first come first serve, right? But in Jackson, Tennessee, look, we have 6 a.m. Central Time. So it's a strict delivery. I even have my reward, $50. Wow, I should book the load and get my $50 reward. See, they give you reward, so they're gonna add $50. But here is already, it tells you that it's going to be $4.19. You can agree, or you can what? You can bid, right?
Yeah.
So
You
let's
use
look.
offer, right?
Yeah, so let's look at this transit. So the distance is 529. Pickup is when? Today. Today is what? Today is Thursday, right?
Thursday, yeah.
So delivery is tomorrow. Is it good transit or bad transit? Transit is tomorrow at 6 a.m. Wisconsin. And we're gonna be there when? On Monday morning, right?
Yeah.
So custom range, you have to click twice. So it's booked as well. So let's see on Monday what is Wisconsin have right now. Okay, you can organize it, right? By pickup, by deadhead, origin deadhead. So the closest loads to you are 36 mile Northbrook, 1900 Des Plaines, 2300. So I can already see the prices went down. So look at this. So if you have multi-stop, right? You're gonna have all the multi picks. 3 p.m. So let's look at this. So that's why they pay in 3,500, right? Going to Montgomery, Alabama, 1,000 miles. So starting on 18th, which is gonna be Monday, at 3:30, 0 degrees, 36. So the first one we're picking up in Chicago. That's why we have Deadhead. Ashland Cold Storage, very strict facility. Usually you need to have appointment. That's why 3:30. No even chance that you're gonna pick up early. It's gonna be 3:30. Hopefully you get out in 3 hours. Then we go into what? First drop on 20th. 2 days later, right? FCC, Yazoo, whatever, don't even know. 7:30. They all first. So at least all the receivers are first come, first serve. But look at this, they put first come, first serve, but they put exactly 5:30. So the third receiver you need to verify, right? Because if you have exactly 5:30, that doesn't mean that it's first come. Even here, 11 to 12, it's not first come, first serve. You have appointment window. So that all of this is not first come, first serve. So in the end of the day, you are wasting how many days? Not that many, right?
4 days.
4 days. Is it worth it? No. Plus,
Maybe
you have
2
this,
short or 3 short trip, like make more than
exactly,
3
and you have beef and you have a pork. So this is expensive stuff, right? So if something gonna happen with your reefer, you can have liability, right? And here what? They just have flatbeds. So let's see for flatbeds what they have for flatbeds nowadays, because the flatbed market is, look at this, dead, right? So what are we gonna do now? Now flatbeds are deadheading 300 miles to 150, 380 to Richmond, Indiana to hopefully pick up something. What does it mean? It can be flatbed, step deck. So look at this, look at the map, look at the pickup and see that what's bad about this load, what's good about this load, right? Because you can see the commodity, you can see kind of offer, and you can see the map, you can open comments, right? Average time. That's why, for example, I like sometimes to even look at the receivers, which I don't really know if I dispatch dry vans, because GB Hunt is gonna tell you average waiting time 77 minutes, 94. So it helps me to understand, because every time they have the load there, they take the data. So that's a big plus for me as a GB Hunt, right? People gonna work with TQL trucks. You can post your trucks. See, post a truck. So you currently cannot have trucks. So we can post Chester, New York. So where is it gonna be posted, Adrian? If we're gonna post on their inside board, right? So now on their internal, all the brokers in TQL, they don't have to go to that. They're gonna see that our truck is there, right? And where we wanna go, let's say I wanna go here. Or region, you can choose the region. We are 53, we are reefer. Now with the posted, the information has been updated. So now all TQL has my truck posted. So that's why in the morning, guys, when you're gonna be starting, at least post for those big.
Picking up in Baltimore tomorrow at 2 p.m. and dropping in Amsterdam at 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Actually, is there any pickups later than 2 p.m. because we're gonna be empty by 2:33?
2:33. All right, give me a second. Let me check.
1600 and delivery will be?
Delivery would be on Saturday at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. You know what? Let me check with my receiver. Maybe they can unload me earlier. And where was the pickup? Which zip code?
In Baltimore, Maryland.
And commodity again?
Quantity is 41,000 pounds of refrigerated freight at a temperature control of 60 degrees.
Okay.
It's soda.
Is 1600 your best, or we can work on it?
17 is where my boss told me that's the highest we can go on it.
Give me a second, I'll call you right back.
All right, what was your name?
Alex.
All right, thank you so much.
Bye-bye. So guys, so look, 3 p.m. Actually, if we pick up that really early, right? We just have to, so we actually probably can make it 3 p.m. But believe me, it is a lot of loads, which we can take at least 1,000 from TQL. She would give us 1,000. I'm more than, this guy's giving me 1,700. So what are we talking here about now?
650.
2,700 divided by 650. And what? We still gonna be empty on Saturday morning, right? Right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, okay, so what does it mean? What question do we need to ask this? Have a reload out of the facility. How many of you were asking that?
Yes.
Yes, it's gonna help you. So make sure, always ask, do you have reload? Do you have backhaul? Do you ship from this facility? Especially if the price is not good enough for you and you go into that area, because if he's gonna give you better reload and you put it together, then what are we gonna do? We're gonna do the same exercise, right? We're gonna combine two loads and we don't care which load he's gonna push. But you receive bill of lading today. You know who you booked the load with, right? You forward that to your broker and you're gonna say, well, this is bill of lading attached, no OS&Ds, thank you, let me know when you're gonna have the next load. First, you build in a relationship. Secondary, you have a proof that you submitted. So in case if something's gonna happen with accounting, you can go back and say, well, it was sent to you guys within 3 business days. Because if you're gonna have a rule that no matter what, whoever unloaded today, you're gonna send them proof of delivery, right? Because now it's a proof POD. BOL with a stamp becomes POD. So you guys gonna prevent a lot of disputes, and you're not gonna be short pay for lumpers, for what? For detentions and for everything else. Why? Do we really have appointment, right?
Yeah.
Do we really have? So we're gonna give them a number. Okay, you have 4 or 5 days. Look, he gets loaded on Monday, your appointment on Thursday. So if you guys call on Monday and they're gonna tell you appointment was never made, you still have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that your broker can work on it, right? Isn't it better to know that appointment's not really made on Monday, or just try to get there and appointment is not made? So you have to be, what do we call it in America? Proactive. In this case, we just had one pickup number, but it can be even the same place, but 3 different pickup numbers. Maybe they had 10 pallets of apples, 5 pallets of pears, and 3 pallets of apricots, right? It's gonna be 3 different PU. So if Adrian gave his driver just 1 PU, when driver goes check in and he says, I have this PU, the guy is gonna put him 10 pallets and he said, you done, right? Because a lot of times they don't know who is really picking up. They just go by pickup number. I have to put. So in this case, if your driver's so happy, right, Adrian, he's like, oh my God, I just have 12,000 on the weight, right? And you know that it's apples. Don't you kind of have to worry about that something wrong? That maybe you missing the product? So before he goes, unless you knew that it's gonna be really light load, unless you knew it's gonna be just 10 pallets. But guys, no one is shipping 10 pallets from cross country and paying you $8,400, right? Unless maybe it's an emergency mail before the Christmas or whatever, Amazon before Black Friday, right? Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So as a dispatcher, do we need to know the pallet count and weight?
We're gonna be covering a little bit how to start up a trucking company. We will need to understand insurance requirements, permits. We need to understand different types of coverages and exclusions, minimum requirements, and what we usually have to get that load. Because it's a big difference between minimum requirements just to activate MC and be able to book with the brokers. Also, we're gonna be learning different types of equipment, specification, weight restrictions, how to make sure you can calculate what is your empty scale ticket, how many pallets goes on a driveway, on a reefer, what is a double stack, what is a single stack, what is a e-truck. All those little things we're gonna be covering, because you do need to know your equipment, right? You need to know if your trailer has swing doors, roll-up doors, wooden floors, if it's a plated trailer, if it's a downloadable TRU. So you will be covering this and you will be practicing. Also step decks, flatbeds, dimensions, what specialty equipment do drivers usually have? Do they have chains? Do they have tarps? Do they have special wrenches? How do they secure the load? And what is overdimensional? What do you need to do? Can you just book the load, or do you need to have a permit? Is your company qualified to do that? Is your driver qualified to do it? That's just we're talking about the first two classes. And of course, we're gonna work on the setup, right? Setup between carriers and brokers. And if you've been watching my videos on YouTube, Alarm Dispatch Today, my channel, you already know how to create the carrier setup packet. Well, I hopefully soon I'm gonna post the second part. How do we get set up? But we cover that in details. You guys gonna be filling out the real broker agreements, and you guys gonna be using information for company, and you guys gonna make sure you understand all the questions are in those broker agreement packets, in their carrier data sheets, because it's important. And we're gonna be doing it in PDF. Also, you're gonna watch how it's done over link, but you're gonna be comfortable. So you already, after two classes, you know the equipment, you know the insurance requirements, you know what is MC duty, how does it all start. You already know how to get set up. You already know the difference between just certificate of insurance and a certificate holder. You already know what is factoring and why do we need factoring or not. Recourse or non-recourse. What is NOA? All those terminology, not just you gonna hear it, but you gonna understand. This is two classes. And then class 3 comes. And here we're gonna start getting used to that truck stop. Also, brokers apps like Coyote, XPO, GB Hunt, Convoy, TQL, CH Robinson, and much more, because you need to get comfortable with posting correctly your equipment, with knowing what to put in those special instructions, with making sure that you're posting not just a general posting, because if you know your driver is not going to West Coast, if he's not going to mountains, then you need to eliminate. You need to post by zones, by regions, by state. If you have a specific request, you need to make sure you get the load as close as possible, and then organizing your load board by deadhead, by area, by desire area, and by market area. So this is class number 3. Lots and lots of hands-on practice. You will have logins to all those boards, and you will be practicing also in between the classes. And then class number 4 comes, where we're gonna be covering all production, all manufacturing, all shippers, receivers, special area, maybe how the produce affects this area, what is manufacturing does in this area, what is a load ratio, what is even population ratio, because if a lot of people living in the area, that means we will have to bring them food, clothes. That means that they probably have some factories around, so probably they making something. So we're gonna understand finally why some areas have always loads and some areas are a little bit challenging. That's why if we're gonna ever take load to the area where no much production, where is no produce, we will make sure that load that going to that area is gonna pay way more than market price, because it has to help us with backhaul. Also, we're gonna finally understand what is the difference between local run, short run, long run, cross country, what is straight through, what is multi-pick, multi-drop, what is one-on-one, what does it mean no touch, and what is a driver assist, what is a lumper, what is a revised rate confirmation. Revised rate confirmation due to what? Due to detention, unloading or unloading, due to layover, due to extra pick, redelivery, washout, maybe reimbursement for pallet exchange. All those things are finally gonna click. And then you are coming to class like today. you're gonna be practicing, you're gonna be making your first phone calls. And believe me, that first phone call is not easy, but after 2-3, you get the confidence. You already know what did you miss, what you still need to remember to ask all the time, because we ask the same questions before we decide to book the load, before we even ask the price. Pick up, delivery, is transit is good or not? Is it too short, too long? What about commodities? Do we hold these commodities? Is this a high liability? Should we just look for something better? Are we going to good area? What is every load gonna look like? How many loads are gonna be there? So all of this we are covering in the classes.
Let's say we cannot talk about the price. If it's cool, it's not cool, it's cheap. So no, so you're gonna say, well, seems like we need a little bit more. Why? Because of the toll cost, right? Because of our deadhead, because market's paying better, because transit is too long, because we have to wait till 6 p.m. So we need to be at better rate. We can meet you at 1,500. My lowest would be that will be approved by my management will be 2,000. Unfortunately, so would you like to bring this option to your broker? And then you guys can work in the middle, right? So if you never set the price, one of you, I don't remember who, never set the price, but ask the question, can we meet in the middle of what? You never set the price. Middle of what? Of the street? Yeah, we can meet on the street somewhere. It's a commodity. If we are talking, what is the dimension, right? That's what we were trying to figure out with what is the loading and unloading hours, right? If we're talking about step deck. Does driver needs to know any special requirements? Because right now, for example, sometimes you go to facilities, they need to have the protective hat, especially for the guys for the step decks and flat beds. They have to have the hat. They have to have that yellow jacket, safety jacket, right? They cannot go in flip-flops, you know? So how we dispatch? What they gonna ask us? Since we were doing online, we didn't really get to that point to give. So usually what are you gonna give? Truck number, right? Trailer number,
plate
driver's
number,
name, driver's phone number, right? So you should have it in front of you, right? You're gonna make sure, or you have that system where you have everything. So you just need to make sure specifics. What also? They're gonna ask if they can contact the driver directly. Most of the time they will ask, or they're gonna ask, is it okay to just talk to driver, or do you want us to call you first and then we'll go? So it's up to you, whatever policy you guys. When you talk with with the driver, he always want to tell you, well, make sure all my loads $5 a mile, right? Do we have to be kind of realistic? Do we have to show them national data, right? Do we have to kind of tell him, well, it's a different way. If you're gonna do short loads, yes. When you do long haul, but when you go cross country, no, how I can do you $3 a mile to $3.20, right? It's gonna be $2.80, $2.60, $2.70, $2.40. But if you're on East Coast, yes, your miles have to be $5 a mile, right?
Yes.
Because the tolls is gonna eat anyway those $2. And you need to make sure that all this done. You need to know what he wants, but you are professionals. You making the decisions, okay? And a lot of times happens if you don't really talk to your driver and he feels confident, he's gonna go behind your back. And he's gonna say, oh, no, he's not doing, switch me from Mohammed, switch me to Adrian, from Adrian, switch me to Boris, just because he is not, you gotta have the drivers like that, right? They're never gonna be happy, but that doesn't mean that you're doing a bad job, so you just need to analyze. You need to know what you really gonna do there tomorrow, day after, especially if you do not know the area, right, Adrian? If you've never went to North Carolina, all market is changing. Okay, so you're gonna talk to them when you need to talk to them. Like Mohammed has a really good skills. He's a sweet talker. So that's gonna help him. So when he's gonna call and he's gonna have option, choose Mary or choose John, he's gonna choose Mary. You know, because he's gonna buy time with Mary.
To talk,
He's gonna buy time with Mary, right? So then we have traffic, hours of service, weather, construction, breakdowns, oversize. So Adrian, tell us the truth. When you just look at Google Maps and it shows you 1 hour, 20 minutes, I mean, realistically, it depends which area it is. It's not hours, so it is at least 2 hours, 15 minutes, right? So you need to make sure you guys know, and especially time of the day. So again, 0 to 5, look at this. So transit, right? So if it's 500, we should be able to deliver next day. So this is gonna help you when you look at the miles, because we still have to unload, load, break, right? So if it's more than 500, it's a day and a half, right? It's a second day. So probably it can be next day afternoon, or it has to be already following day, right? So it's gonna help you. So you have this, so you kind of understand. So if we pick up load in Virginia to California, what do we have? We have like almost
5 days.
5 days. 5 days, yeah. Next day, third day, while your driver goes to California. Should you do it in the morning? So they don't bug your driver, this first. Secondary, that they know that you on schedule. And you're gonna prove that you communicated with them. So we are on schedule. Even if you are delivering today at 2 p.m., you email him, well, Mike, we are looking good. ETA for the driver, 1:30. Looking good. Why? Because after you guys gonna do it few times, they gonna love working with you. Because it's less stress for them. They don't have to worry when they have trucks with me, because I know that if in case of emergency, I will notify and we will solve the problem. Because I understand sometimes we do have breakdowns, so communicating is must number one. When you're talking to that rate is cheap. What's your best rate? See, they say don't ever say that. Why? Because this is stupid. What's your best rate? Well, his best rate is even lower what he wants, because he wants to make more money. Mohammed, his best rate is to take advantage of you, to make sure that you're gonna agree to the cheapest path. So that's why what's your best rate is not a valid question. You need to say what your rate, which makes sense for you economically and financially, and then you can work in the middle. But the first question could never be what's your best rate, because you need to throw him the number. Because when they see the number, they kind of, and a lot of times, guys, sometimes you are gonna be underestimating them, right? And you're gonna see that the moment he said, well, it works for me, right? That means that your number was too low. So you're gonna learn those lessons, right? Okay, so and if you go to load type?
Load type gives, we are okay with this both option.
Okay, so Adrian, what does it mean drop and hook, and what is the difference between drop and hook and line?
Drop and hook is that you have to bring the trailer, empty trailer, and hook the another one.
So it already means that it's preloaded, right?
You have to preload. You have to bring. You have to bring the empty trailer. You give the empty, then you will take the loaded one.
So Mohammed, drop and hook in Amazon and drop trailer for reefer. Is it different? Are you gonna come and give your reefer and pick up somebody else? Or what does it mean drop trailer if you are dealing with a dry van or reefer? You see drop trailer required. So what does that mean? At the receiver or at the shipper? It's gonna be still our trailer, but that loading or unloading, it's gonna take a long time, right? So usually they say drop trailer required, and then they're gonna tell you, actually XPO Logistics, they have a huge office in LaSalle, like big one. So a lot of drivers who live in Chicago, they like it because they usually pay better because of drop trailer, right? Because it's longer. But it is, you need to drop trailer by 6 p.m. on Friday, but you need to pick up on Sunday morning. So a lot of drivers like that because he goes drop the trailer there and he just goes home. And then 6 in the morning on Sunday or 7, whatever time they're gonna tell you, he goes and it's already preloaded, right? So he says, but they also pay more because of drop. So as a dispatcher, when you know that, yes, it is good for your driver, he's okay, but do you need to ask for more money, right? So that's why those loads pay more, especially when they go to California or West Coast. So a lot of drivers, usually if the market pay like say 35, 36 to go to Washington with a drop trailer, you're gonna get 45, 46. You're the only one, right, who had experience?
Yeah.
Kind of. You had experience in tracking, so different part of logistics, working with the drivers, giving directions.
But I learned from you a lot of things to work with the outside, with brokers and different kind of companies, not only GB Hunt, Coyote, but others also, Trackstore, some others.
Okay.
So I learned a lot. Thanks for
Do
you.
you feel more comfortable now? Like, do you feel more
Sure.
comfortable?
Because I thought it's, last times I was sitting also in the Amazon, as you said, it's only plan A. I didn't see plan B, so now I can. It's my plan B is the outside. Maybe
And you can,
A
and
also.
so we did not try, but also on Coyote, on GB Hunt, they also have power only, right? So you have to have plan B. You cannot just say, that's why I ask you, what is plan B for all of you? It's 8 of you for that guy in Miami. Some of you have to have that plan B.
Yeah, I learned a lot with the classes, and it was really interesting, a new field for me. So I'll try my best.
What did you do before, David?
I was a cabin crew.
The certificate. Dispatch, how can I help?
Hey, do you still have a truck in Pennsylvania for tomorrow by chance?
Wow, my coworker Mohammed is in charge of that. Let me see if he covered it or not. Hold on a second. What is your name?
It's Maddie, and I'm with TQL.
Okay, just hold on a second. I'll put you on a hold.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, he just covered 2 minutes ago. I'm so sorry. He's gonna take it down.
No worries. Thank you for checking out. We have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye. Did you learn anything? Do you want to be dispatcher? What do you think?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I had nothing within this industry, and I got something now after these classes.
You improve some skills, right? You kind of learn how it works. Did you Did you like the process of calling the real brokers and talking and trying to get the load?
Yeah, definitely. I actually these telephone conversations made me kind of feel better and certain on what I'm doing and what I will be doing, and yeah, it helped me a lot, honestly. And this whole class was so brilliant. Honestly, we didn't expect that you could teach within from your heart. And that's what we all felt, and we even discussed it within our group. That you did good job, great job. Thanks.
Thank you, Elvis. And now,
first of all, thanks a lot for our management to organize this training, and it was good opportunity to learn a lot about this tracking business and to meet friends.
Because actually, and I was discussing this with few different people. And I was like, this is the first time the company who doesn't have 50, 60 trucks, who just starting, I was very impressed that they did spend this money and they hire me to teach you, because it wasn't still a lot of money for them. They starting, plus they did give you opportunities. So yes, actually, I am impressed. You are first and probably the last company who is gonna do it, because usually what happens, usually they already at the point losing everything, then they're gonna go learn, right? Or they lose the company, reopen new one, and then they learn. So yes, Sherlock, you were right. So
many friends working for logistics company here, and when I told them, and they got impressed that they are asking about all the materials you are giving us, okay? And they're saying nobody is giving a training like us. During the training, we had a lot of jokes, and we were joking as you are joking. But out of that, and of course, I learned a lot. And during the training, I was also joking in that practice. But when it comes to serious situation, of course, I clarify everything. I I make sure that everything is correct, and that's it.
In general, we can have fun, but we still need to know the deadhead. We still need to know the transit. We still need to know RPM, because in the end of the day, it's somebody's money. It's your company money. It's an owner operator. So yes, and this is the way. It's just because, believe me, it's not easy to teach you through the Zoom. But promise you, you're gonna try the best. You have all the things, reread, redo it, practice, and just be good, okay?
Thank you.
Just make me proud, okay? Because now
Sure.
I have, it's 8 of you guys. So now we can change that market. We can change that out of sea dispatch for Amazon, because even for Amazon, you really need to know also how to do it, right? So guys, one person at a time, one driver at a time, one company at a time. I am on the mission, Sherlock. I am on a mission. So we all can change this industry for better. Thank you, guys.
Believe me, they are intense, they are hands-on, but if you really want to be dispatcher, if you really set up your mind, I will help you. I will make sure you get the process, and then you just need to improve. You need to still practicing. You need to keep calling, and when you're gonna feel that confidence, you're ready to go. And then just help me to change this industry for better, because we deserve to have professional dispatchers that know what they are doing. I am so glad to be with you today, and hopefully see you in the next class. You're Sassy Dispatch Teacher, and I will make sure you know how to dispatch.